Sup, nerds, and welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Last time we got the sewage line running from Zvenimon all the way out to Bratislava. We are now dropping all of our sewage off out there. We built a few dumps. We have a worker vehicle repair station. We're getting some basic buildings here. And most importantly, our economy has started looking stable. Admittedly, part of that's because we're spending dollars instead of rubles for a bit, but we'll take the wins where we can, and we're starting to knock down some of these loans. We had to get up to 550,000 at its worst. We're now working through these last loans. If we can get this one that has 88 days left paid off, I think that will just feel good for me, and we'll just start slowly chipping away through the rest of these as our economy keeps growing due to new people moving in and more people working at our jobs. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on our money, trying not to bring it too low. Ideally, I want to keep it above 25,000 while I can. I'm going to go ahead and turn the speed on just so the city can come to life. And we're going to start working on some new things. With that, I think it's time we look at our 5-year plan again. Taking a look at this plan, I was getting pretty doomy about it last time, but honestly, we're in a pretty good spot. Sewage is done. We have vehicle repair done. Those were two of the big things for our 3-year plan. Obviously, the 3-year plan had to be pushed out a little bit. We're not going to get the beginning of the rail network. I can tell you that right now, or the asphalt, brick, and concrete, but we can start working on the construction, distribution, and demolition offices. As well, I want to get the ideas that were in our 1-year plan done. Our population has been increased. We are going to get crop storage, food production, and fabric production up as we keep pushing it forward. And if we start running out of places to put houses right around here, I decided at the end of last episode that I think it's time for Scalica to make its comeback. We can put a little store here, a little school here, feed it with our distribution offices, and see this town come to life once more. That's sort of a medium goal, but I think it makes sense to have people over on this side to help fill some of these buildings in as well. For now, we're just going to keep work on this, and I think we're going to keep an eye on our buildings. Another thing I want to look at as population starts to fill up is getting our criminal justice system started. Government loyalty is extraordinarily low for two reasons. First, we did sort of bring in a lot of Westerners because they were cheap. They're being educated, but they're still Westerners. Second, we have had a massive crime epidemic for the last 4 years and have still not bothered to build a single police station. I should probably just build that police station this episode. We are seeing something we haven't seen yet, which is the clothing factory has max workers. Our production percentage is not at nearly 100%. The reason for that is citizen happiness more than anything. Happy and loyal citizens work harder, and loyalty is probably our single biggest detractor to happiness, though crime is right behind it. This is a big part of why they want to be my next focus because we want people to be happy. I don't think there's anything too strange about that. But at least while this is going on, we're getting a good number of workers into our businesses or into our factories. We're making clothes, we're making bricks, we're selling them. Money is falling. I think that's because it's winter and our vehicles are consuming more fuel and we're burning more coal and things like that. I think once that's done, it will stabilize out, especially with more workers in these buildings. But I really do need to build the fabric factory. I need to build the food factory. I need to start making more products once people are fully employed, which it says there's one person not working due to no workplace. I don't believe that for a second. Over here, looking at our housing situation, we still have this one that can take 50 people. These others are mostly full. This one also can take another 36 workers, so I think once this starts to fill up, we do need to divert and build another flat or two, which we'll put right over here. That should still have access to all these amenities that we built out. And then with that, the police station. Our vehicle repair station here has its open storage. It has a warehouse nearby. It does need to finish this factory connection, so it's not completely up. I'm not actually going to be putting much material into these yet. I might have spoken a little too soon when I said our economy had recovered. It's doing better now that it's summer. We have a lot of bricks to sell. We have some clothes that are about to be sold off. A lot of fabric just loaded in to keep making clothes to sell off, which is good to see, even if that is currently the biggest cost in our economy. We are going to need to make a new dump soon enough. These other ones do seem to be emptying a little, which makes me wonder if there's a degradation effect on those dumps. But for now, I think we're going to just chill out a moment, let things keep going, let things build, finish this last connection, and stop burning so much fuel for once. But like I said, I'm hoping that now that it's melted, our economy will mostly stabilize and we can start really making and selling things. Like when I look at these buildings, they're filling up. And if they're filling up, then the best thing I can do with my economy is to make people happier. It might be time for the police station. We do see a broken down vehicle here. That is what our vehicle repair station's for. Hopefully, that bus will be coming in soon. We'll find out. We'll find out. Ironically, I think it's going to be people from that bus that go to the repair station, but yeah, is it heading in? It's not, it's getting fuel. Can I just send you to be repaired? Might have to just put a road depot nearby for them to go in when I catch things like that. I mean, it's still working, it's still running, it's just not the nicest bus to ride. I'm weak, I keep taking out loans. We need money to keep the power running to make things, and I don't think this is quite at the point where it's profitable yet. With that money, I want to get the police station going. I think that's the next step, is to start focusing on some happiness measures. So that's under state infrastructure, crime and justice. We need three things. We need a police station, we need a courthouse, and we even need a prison. And we need the secret police. So we need four things. We'll start with the police station. Small, it doesn't have to be much, just something to get in and get patrolling around the community right here. Put that there. We'll also get a little courthouse going right next to it. These are relatively cheap in terms of materials, and it's mostly things we're buying with dollars. Steel, I've still been buying with rubles. I know that's not really ideal, but we need to be supporting Soviet steel manufacturing, not relying on the outside world. I was thinking of where to put the prison, and I think right out here in the industrial sector makes a lot of sense. We don't want it anywhere near our people. Here, it can at least they can get a sense of where they're going to be going to work here soon, because we do believe in prison labor in Slovakia. So we're just flattening out the train. And we'll get our prison built right here. It takes 15 people. It's not too bad. They'll be able to walk there from the bus stop. Should be able to keep that running without an issue. Alright, I'm tired of seeing this. This is just going to very briefly go and take its stop in this depot. That should be within the range of this repair station. We'll get it all fixed up and get it back out there. I mean, look at that grody thing. This thing should not be running. The only problem with building more buildings is that they cost more money. We are still doing okay-ish. We're just still relying too much on loans. Keeping an eye on this, it's going to have to go up to maybe 600, and I'm really hoping that the efficiency increases in getting happiness and government loyalty up will really make that difference. Because I'm running out of things I can do to make people happy. I mean, I guess I could have been building them nicer houses, and that's what we'll do over here is we'll get some nicer neighborhoods set up. But aside from that, I think we bite the bullet and we make the fabric factory. If we look at our economy, at our imports, this is now our killer. If we look this year, we brought in 40,000. If we look at last year, we brought in 110,000 rubles worth of fabric. Sure, it's being turned into a profit, but if we can get it for functionally free for, I think I said it was a 20 to 1 ratio off of crops, why am I importing it? Why didn't I make this the first building I made? I don't know. I think I thought the clothes would be a better value per, and I in terms of raw numbers, it is, but we need this. We already have the storage for the crops. We can just build this factory, get that resumed. So once all these police stations are done and we're able to get everyone nice and happy, God, they're just sitting there waiting for concrete, aren't they? I mean, there's a I these are three fairly sizable constructions I got going at the same time, so I'm not too shocked. But anyway, once all that's done, we'll get our fabric factory up, and I think we have the population now to support splitting at least some people into that. And God, it's another 100,000 every year as profit instead of cost. I'm here for it. The problem with this game sometimes is that if you have a nice construction project within walking distance of where all your people live, they might decide that they would rather not get on a long bus and go to work there. They might just cross the street over to the construction site that's waiting for them. That way they can claim a full day's work without actually having to do anything. And that is the situation we find ourselves in now. I could be telling my people to go over and focus on these, but I don't know. Something about it just feels right to let them do that for right now, even as our economy is going down. These people have earned a break. We have our prison up. Prisons need a lot of the same things that regular people do, but we can at least do some changes here. We can make them, extremely Soviet and push down their religious bias. And I think right now that's a good idea. Make people go into our work camps, come out praising the Holy Motherland. I mean, prisons, not work camps. We are also going to be finishing with the police station soon. The courthouse is done. So, pretty quickly, we should actually have a real justice system running. And hopefully, now people will be going back to work where they should be. What I need to do is take this distribution office that's already bringing all the food everywhere. I think that is this one. Got so many. This one's bringing meat. So this one definitely needs to go over to the prison. Now this one is the rest. So we'll put that over in the prison. Let's double check that we're doing this right. Unload, food, close, good. We do need to keep our prisoners fed. That some kind of human rights clause or something like that. I'm not sure how to get this fixed. I think because it's been less than a year since the last repair, it's not letting me. I took it off the line. I did buy a Western vehicle to replace it to keep the line going, but something odd's going on with some of these. Hopefully it'll get fixed soon. I have a lot of people working at the court, but no police officers to bring people in because we haven't had workers going to make bricks. So that's coming finally. Everything's delivered to the police station. You should be finishing up here any moment. Then we'll turn our attention to, well, first you need to get a police car. Just one. Um, Purchase new vehicle. Let's get let's get this nice German police car. We'll get a couple of those as installers. And we just need to add this to the fuel distribution line now. And everything should be okay. With a few police cars, with some actual police, crime should go down, happiness should start to go up. I'm hoping. Now we need to tackle fabric. All right, we have criminal investigations going on. Quite a few. Good. We've got a backlog of crimes that we need to get through. Love to see it happening. Love to see them doing their search. They're bringing people in and interrogating them, as is probably correct. I do notice we are actually getting workers waiting here, which is kind of nice. We'll be building the new residences kind of close to here. I might just be able to get a little bus to shuttle them over to that if it comes down to it. But for now, it's time to continue construction on the fabric factory and on these little lines that are feeding into it, which is power and plumbing. I wanted to take a look at what was trashing my economy this year, and it's steel and mechanical components. It's getting buildings built. It's getting our buses filled. I've had to slow down the process of dumping sewage in our own place for, well, we were having pollution backups. I think I do need a tweak with this a little. I have this switch here. I think I can run a line from here into that switch, maybe? But that's gonna be something that might cause problems. Um, so I don't want to do it yet. So I just took one of the sewage trucks that was adding in from extras and leaving it just our own. And we're through the sewage problems. It was starting to affect health. That's what this pollution is starving. No way it should be starving. I guess we're having issues getting everybody through the shops. Uh, it's okay. It's running okay. Just mm, I think before any housing expansion, when we do that, we need to look at really getting everything else going along with it. We need another shop. We need more electricity. We need all of that. Maybe a little grocery kiosk could help ease the tension. I'll think about that. Just something temporary, like out here. I went ahead and lowered down the court staff. We did not need a full court for running this. We can probably even bring down the number of police once we get some of these crimes solved, or at least addressed. We need people out working, making us money. If we take a look at this year, there were 84 crimes this year, 119 last year. Yeah, that's why it's very important that we got the police in. Have the groundworks done on our fabric factory. Don't believe this number of rubles. It's loans, but this was the last big thing I want to invest in loans. Our population dropped again because of that sewage backup that I caught, but it was just a little too late to catch it. We're still having some pollution issues. I'm not sure if that's from that or that's probably from our dump overflowing. All right. Well, that's necessary. That's not something we can wait on any longer. We need to make another medium dump. Thankfully, they're not too expensive. The steel's the worst part, but we'll transition everything over to the new one, get that working. I think in the meantime, we can start dumping in some of these others. Hopefully, that will help keep pollution down. Where's my technical offices? Here we go. Mixed waste. Go ahead and send that here. That should be the big one. The demo office, I'll just put over there. I haven't had to demolish anything in quite some time, which is nice. But regardless, our fabric factory should be up and running here pretty quickly. We're feeding it with our own bricks, so the largest cost of construction is actually handled. I say it's the largest. It's not. It's probably the steel that was the most, but we're going to get it set up, and then I'm going to figure out how to keep it staffed. And we have our fabric factory built. Now, this needs workers. We do have a place to get them here eventually, but in the short term, that's sort of inefficient. I'm thinking I just have a single bus go back and forth from a. I can put in a free bus station again right down here. Let's see. Free bus stop. Yep. Put it in like right here. That'll work. And we'll just make that only workers. And any excess workers that go here, we're just going to ship them to the fabric factory. The other thing I need to do is make sure it has a supply of chemicals. This is going to be things like dyes, which are needed in order to keep everything soft and colorful. I believe chemicals are shipped in just a standard closed bed, maybe? Yeah, this one's able to ship chemicals, so we'll go ahead and add the fabric factory there. Just make sure that it's unloading chemicals. We'll add this, make sure it's unloading crops. And we'll go up to the main customs house here. Make sure we're picking up crops, make sure we're picking up chemicals, and let's stop picking up fabric. In fact, let's start unloading fabric if it's over 30%. And down here at the warehouse, yeah, let's stop unloading fabric and start loading fabric. We'll let it be 20% for each of those items, just to make sure that, oh, not chemicals, fabric, just to make sure that we have enough to keep things moving. I think that'll be good. Then we'll just copy those settings here. Well, not copy, but we'll make sure that that's being done in this one as well. If this one even manages that kind of material, it doesn't. Does this? It does not. Wonderful. Then I made this bus station, and I never set a bus to it. I did buy a couple more American buses. We are going to create a new line. It's going to go here to here. It's going to load everyone here and unload everyone here. That's just going to repeat that ad infinitum. Let's launch this. And we're going to go to the line detail. This is going to be renamed clothing or fabric factory line. And we are going to save that and add also this bus to it and launch it. There we go. I do want that line to be spaced out. Off they go. We should start getting some workers waiting there. Yep, there are. They'll bring them to this fabric factory. We'll get crops into the grain storage. We'll get chemicals into the factory itself. Can those be stored in the warehouse? They can, actually. Oh. I might want to store them in the warehouse then. Just make sure that it's a very, very low number for chemicals. 3 tons, I guess that's fine. They're expensive, but that'll last us quite a while. Let me adjust all that then. All right, we have about 10 tons of crops over here. Crops are dirt cheap. If we look at the global economy, there should be a price. Yep, here we go. Crops are only 23 rubles a ton. Dirt cheap. We're going to convert those into fabric here. Once we get some chemicals in, which should be any moment now. We are seeing workers are coming in. That's great. And hopefully This will solve our money woes. Any moment now, we'll get those chemicals in. Any moment. So you know you're carrying crops. In time. And there we go. We are starting to make some fabric. It's not going to be a very high rate of it, but it should be enough to be at least supplying our clothing factory here. And as we get more people in, it'll get better. I think with that, that's, a fairly major expense gone, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy with this. The next thing we really need is more people again. That little sewage incident did cost us, and now I'm worried we're going to get another with all the extra sewage that producing a fabric factory makes. But it seems to be getting to one and then dipping away, so I think it's going to be okay. The other nice thing is I'm done with construction for a little bit. I will make some more houses soon because having more houses is clearly something we need, but happiness is starting to go up. Government loyalty even has ticked up very slightly. People upset about crime has gone down because we are working on them. We are solving some of them. If we look at the crime menu now, we've had some crimes issued, but they were investigated. Even if the court didn't issue a verdict, the crimes were investigated. We were getting there. I'll look into why the court might not be issuing verdicts, but probably just means the crime was unsolvable but fully investigated out because we're seeing like 10% chances to solve here. I'm very happy with this. I think I think we'll see more loyalty, we'll see population going up. And once we're sure that money is no longer really an issue, which I'm not sure by any means at this moment that that's a true statement. Although fabric is going up, I see fabric going up. Um, Once we're there, we're going to build the secret police. Biggest strain on our economy at this point, now that we are no longer buying fabric, I think, is actually going to be food. If once we get the fabric factory fully built out, food factory is the next one up. We also have the opportunity for a second clothing factory because one fabric factory fully operational can supply two clothing factories fully operational. But I think food is more important in the short term. We have a good backlog of crops both here and here that are feeding in, and we're bringing those in. Crop imports, let's just look at how much that's costing us compared to the fabric. Crops cost us 545 and well, let's go last month. Yeah, 544. We're looking at less than 1,000 rubles for crops as opposed to fabric, which this year cost us 76,000. So a tenth the cost, a 15th the cost. That will be huge. Chemicals are a little more expensive, but the amount that we're using isn't high enough that I'm too concerned. And besides, it's turning into profit. I know that's exactly what I said about fabric, but I'm choosing to say it anyway. But past that, the biggest cost on our economy is, in fact, loan interest. We're going to be dealing with this one for a while. We have slowed down the rate at which we've had to take new loans this year. We took a few big ones early in the year, but it's slowed down ever since we got a few things finished, like all these buildings. I think now we just let the population naturally grow. Maybe spend some money on bringing some third world workers in. I already did do a little of that. November was a good month. I know it's hard to tell with the ruble values so low, but for one, we didn't have to import a single scrap of fabric. For another, when we look at the balance sheet, we were up 8,332 rubles. That's even after factoring in the loan interest. Now, with loan balance payments, we did drop below it. But if we're keeping up on top of interest, that means we can keep As ridiculous as this sounds, we can keep taking loans to fuel our loans, and we'll keep coming out ahead. The country is growing. We are recovering. I'm very happy with that. I might take out another loan here soon to be able to build the secret police. Once again, this is kind of just based on population numbers, whether or not I'll do that. We're still trying to bring in some immigrants, keep people happy, just doing it 30 at a time, letting them filter in, get educated, get out to our jobs. But November was a better month than, let's see, last month. November was a better month here than October was. If we go back to that, there's October, only 618. And October was a much better month than September. We're in 1967, and I think I'm going to call it here. The next thing to do is probably get government loyalty up, and I've been looking up some info on that, and it seems the best way is going to be getting more of these monuments. We're probably going to put them along here and over here. Just make sure that everybody sees the glory of the Soviet state, is reminded of what we've been doing for them. I think once that's a bit fixed, things should be doing better. We are getting work done. We are sort of stabilizing. December was a terrible month in terms of finances. We had to end up taking out another loan there. That's when we got a lot of things imported, chemicals, fuel, meat, so on. This month, we're mostly just paying off loans. It's going to be an ebb and flow for a bit as we get the loans handled, as we try to transition into lower interest rate ones, is what I'm trying to do. But yeah, things are recovering here. Thank you everyone for watching as I fiddle around with this. Um, that's it for now. As the population grows, we'll try to get the food factory, maybe the second clothing factory once things are getting more efficient. But for now, have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.